you can see we highlighted the areas or the sections or the parts that have been changed. One of the main changes here in this form is that on the left, you're going to see the new form. On the right, you're going to see the previous form. And in section 1, they have divided the name of the employee, and now you have boxes for the first name, the last name, and the middle name. And the last box, because you can see there is 4 boxes instead of 2, as it was in the previous form. So the last box, they are asking for last name, not just previously used names. It's only if the person had used previous names, like maiden names. So it's more specific in terms of the name of the person that is being employed. Then you move down the form, and the first field still contains the same basic information, date of birth, social security number, and all those things. And you go into the next section where the person is to choose whether they are a U.S. citizen or an alien with authorization to work. And now the difference here is that they have numbered the selections. So instead of just having a box, they now have the box and a number, 1 through 4. And depending as to the selection here, then the person completes the following section. If you see the number 1, 2, and 3, now they are not giving you an option, which they did before, of writing not applicable or NA and any of the 1, 2, 3 section or the passport information. Now the person completing the form has to provide information on either one of those sections. So, and if it is the passport information that is going to be given, there must be a passport number. There is no option as to whether leaving it blank or just writing not applicable as it used to be. So make sure that the employee is completing these fields completely, accurately. And the last part here is a section that they have improved. We had it before where it was for the translator or the preparer of the form in case there was one helping the employee completing part 1. So what they've done here is now the employee must check one of 2 boxes. One box says, I didn't use any help or interpreters, and the other one says, yes, I did use one, and the interpreter must complete the following information to give.
And I think it's important to highlight that section because while there is a form I-9 in Spanish, it is only accepted in Puerto Rico. So this section for the rest of you that are not in Puerto Rico, it does need to be completed in English. So if you have Spanish-speaking employees who don't speak or read English, this part was improved because we need additional clarity regarding who's doing the form or helping them fill out the form.
Yes, and thank you, Michelle. And yes, this is important because we do get this question frequently from employers who know and have seen the I-9 form in Spanish. And the first question is, can we do the Spanish version? No, can only be done in Puerto Rico. Everywhere else in the United States, you have to use the form that is in English. And that's why they give the option of using an interpreter or translator. What are the employee's responsibilities in completing Section 1? Well, again, is the employee's responsibility. He is the only one who can complete the form, the Section 1. Employers can't do it, and if they need someone to help, that's why they have that little box that they can say, yes, I use a translator or help. They need to do all the form. They need to do it on the first date of employment or before the first date of employment if the job offer has been accepted. How could this be done? Many companies, when they offer the job and the job is accepted, they send a packet to the employee with information, benefits, and many times they include the I-9 form. So the employee, when he presents to work the first day, he had already completed the first section, and then on that first date of employment, the employer can complete the rest of the form. So still, the employee has to write a date and the day he starts, because it's the day of hire, but the completion date could be before the first date of employment. The employer's responsibility is review the information that the employee provided, ensure that the employee provided information in all required fields, ensure that the employee signed and dated the form, and that the preparer or translator section has been completed, signed, and dated if it is applicable. Please note that on the first date of employment, contrary to what is widely believed, the employee is not under the obligation to provide a social security number. So you have instances where people are granted authorization to work, and they are in the process of obtaining a social security number. So on the first date of employment, they might not have a social security number. So it's okay if they don't enter that number on that form. However, if you are an employer that does E-Verify, then their social security number is required to complete the E-Verify forms, which might create a problem. So you need to kind of be aware of this, because for I-9 purposes, you do not need to have the social security on the first date of employment, but for E-Verify purposes, you do. And we can talk about E-Verify and other things on a later date.
Right, that's a whole separate webinar in and of itself. E-Verify is a separate animal. So this is just regarding the new Form I-9 in compliance. And
Okay. What are the common mistakes on the first section of the I-9 form? Well, the employee doesn't complete the section 1 on the first day. And believe me, it happens frequently. These are the rules. Employee first day, employer first 3 days. And you would be surprised how many times the employee doesn't complete the first section until day 2 or 3 or a week later. So make sure that employee completes that section on the first day of employment. That the employee checked one of the 4 boxes regarding status. Many times these boxes are left blank, and quite frankly, it's impossible not to be in one of those status that are listed. So there's got to be one. Make sure the employee, and don't make a suggestion as to what box can be checked. Just let them choose. And another mistake that we see frequently is that they check the wrong box. For example, they might check the box that says I'm a legal permanent resident when what they have in effect is authorization to work. And yes, they are legally residing in the United States, but they're not legal permanent residents. There's a slight difference there. Another part or mistake that we have seen is that the employee uses a preparer or translator, and the person who does the translation doesn't take the time to complete the part that includes their data or information.